this cold Nairobi morning. My viewers and friends have asked me to talk about the debates, the presidential debates going on. We have had one between Gachagua and Martha Karua. Who won the debate? What does winning a debate mean? What does a debate mean in the context of Kenya? Does it help to sway an election? Those are the questions people are asking. But let's have preliminaries. I want to ask the organizers of this debate, even before we talk about the debate itself, please include Wajakoya in the main debate. Include Maure in the main debate. 4 is not a large number, especially given the structure of the debate. If the past debates of Sakaja, Igade, Karua, Gachagua is anything to go by, that structure does not benefit greatly the viewers if there were 2 candidates. What do I mean? In future, we are going to ask the organizers and the moderators to make the debate more lively. For example, by having moments when candidates are allowed to ask each other questions. When they are allowed to butt in, what you might call disruption, some turn-taking, a little control, but some entertainment. They go at each other, pa, 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 pa. Because they are not doing that, then the 4 candidates can be given a chance. It will be richer. It will be much more interesting. Something else. I have heard people, especially from the Samoei Ruto side, talking about issues. I'll come to that later. What do they mean by issues? They want to be allowed to talk about the economy, about fertilizers, about agriculture, about... That's not a classroom. A debate serves to help people understand you, not just your policies, the kind of person you are, the kind of issues you must address, the kind of challenges you need to face before you talk about what you call issues. So I will ask the organizers and the moderators to ignore that line of thinking, to argue that we must divide the debate clearly and give more prominence to the so-called issues is to water down the debate, is to deny the moderators the leeway, the leg room to manage and control a debate and to make it interesting and to bring out the issues that must be brought out for the purposes of the voter. So I'll ask the moderators and the organizers to ignore that line of thinking and to argue that a debate must be 39 minutes is also to miss the point by huge margin. So let us support the organizers, let us support the moderators, and this debate could be interesting. Now to the debate. Because there's one more debate, and the main debate, let us look at the Martha Karua, Gachagua. Those who want to know who won, I want to ask you, what are you basing yourself on? Many of those so-called opinion polls that you see on social media will place the winner to be the person who has the biggest army of bloggers. That you can't beat Kenya Kwanza in terms of how many bloggers they have. You can't beat them. Secondly, you'll win a debate in courts if you appeal to the public. If you address the gallery, you are more likely to win the debate. And I think that's where Gachagua falls. To many of the people who say Gachagua won, he was entertaining and appealing to the gallery. Because there's a debate to come, and because I'm a good man, I just advise Raila Odinga, William Ruto. In the gallery, those voters are not sufficient. In fact, you can't even call them voters. You are not addressing the gallery. You are addressing the voter. And I'm coming to that now. Who is the voter that you are addressing? You, as you debate regarding Gachagua, Martha Karua, were addressing the undecided voter. Regarding Gachagua failed the test. Because as you entertain, you are not appealing to the undecided voter. So I hope William Ruto and Raila Odinga will not fall in the trap that my friend Hussein Mohammed sent Rigathi Gachagua into. Punch, say things about attack, and then people clap if they must clap. There's no problem with that, except you have missed the point. Martha Karua addressed the undecided voter. Ask yourself, where is the bulk of the undecided voter to be found? The bulk of the undecided voter is to be found in Mount Kenya region. The hugest, the biggest voting bloc without a presidential candidate. The moment William Ruto came up with Rigathi Gachagua and Raila came up shortly after with Martha Karua, the people of the mountain was forced to reduce this election into a choice between Martha Karua and Rigathi Gachagua. Immediately. And the people who are undecided around the mountain, you ask yourself, why are they undecided? The undecided voter is a voter who is looking at an election, thinking about it, weighing options. Because those who have already decided have already based themselves on tribe, on their hatred of Raila if they are from the mountain, and such factors. So the remaining undecided voter is composed of men and women who are still thinking about who to vote for. Now ask yourself, in that debate, who appealed to this thinking voter from Kikuyu land? Was it Rigathi Gachagua? Rigathi Gachagua entertained his core supporters, those who already support him, those who are already on your side. Raila Odinga, William Ruto, listen to me. You can be cheered by people who are already yours, yet you are supposed to be targeting that undecided voter who is a critical voter, thinking about the election. Now listening to Martha Karua discuss things and her demeanor, they are looking at who can be a president, who can be a deputy president. Now allow me also to go into what I talked about, issues. The push for issues. This election will be decided by only two things. So if you are debating Raila Odinga on Tuesday, William Ruto, when you are addressing William Ruto, Raila Odinga, know that this election will be decided by two things. First, this election will be decided by corruption. The team that is most able to fight corruption is the team that will win this election. The second thing is about the issues themselves. No amount of policy program, no amount of plan, no beautiful manifesto will be actualized in this country so long as people are on a stealing spree. So that's how corruption is going to decide this election. That you have wonderful programs, but those programs will amount to zero, not so long as corruption still rules. So you cannot talk about agriculture when we know Gulana Kulalu was a conduit for people to eat billions of shillings. You cannot talk about agriculture when the dams were conduit to eat public resources, public money. You cannot talk about Hustler Fund, ways of whatever fund Raila has, so long as corruption will be allowed to mess that. When you talk about Hustler Fund, are you not aware there's so much that has been devolved and set down there for people? Are you not aware the government has set aside billions of shillings in all manner of funds, and yet the absorption is poor, the money is always returned, the money that is given does not work, does not reach the intended people, money for youth is eaten by people who are older than Manyora. If you are aware of that, then you must know it is not the money you are putting down. Rather, it is the reason as to why monies government has set aside to be used by various groups does not reach those groups, either because of ignorance or corruption. But the bottom line is that money, the various funds have never achieved the intended purpose. So it's not about the money. And when you put money down there with the corruption in place, all the beautiful programs in agriculture, in education, in health, all the programs put aside, put in the manifestos by Ruto and Raila, will not work if corruption thrives in this country. So when you talk about issues, Kenyans will not vote on the basis of the manifesto of Raila Odinga. No. Kenyans are not going to vote on the basis of Ruto manifesto or plan. You can call it anything. The idea is those wonderful ideas will not see day. They will not be actualized. They will amount to zero so long as the funds intended to actualize those programs are then eaten. Now you can understand when from the word go I said, those saying let us discuss issues are missing the point, and they are missing it badly. Because we must look first at theft, corruption, deal with it firmly. That takes me now to the second point which I started with, which will decide this election. This election is reduced to a very simple thing. Very simple. Now with the understanding that corruption is number 1, number 2, and number 3, the second issue that decides this election is very simple. It is being reduced to which team do you think can deal with corruption? That's how this election will be decided, especially among the undecided voters, a majority of who are to be found in Mount Kenya. Who, just looking at them by their history, not their looks, not because they are short or tall or ugly or beautiful. I had somebody tell me that. That was a bit stupid. But looking at Raila Odinga in terms of his character, in terms of his history, in terms of his past, looking at Mother Karua, what she has stood for, what she has been able to fight for, what she has done, her capacity and abilities as demonstrated over the years. Looking at William Samoei Ruto, not whether he's tall or short, no. At his history, at his record, at what he has been able to do, what has been associated with him. Looking at Rigathi Gachagua. That is how these elections are going to be decided. The election has been reduced to whether you believe William Ruto, Rigathi Gachagua ticket can deliver on corruption, or whether you believe it is the Raila Mother Karua that can deliver on corruption. It is as simple as that. The choice before Kenyans is to look for a team that can put the country back on track, revive the economy, create jobs, put food on the table, solve health issues, provide quality education for children of Kenya by dealing squarely with that which is destroying this country, namely corruption. Will you believe Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua? Or will you believe Raila Odinga and Mother Karua? This election is that simple. It's made even simpler by the fact that the deciding vote will come from Mount Kenya. And in that Mount Kenya region, the people of that region are having to look at Rigathi Gachagua and Mother Karua. You can now see how simple, how easy it will be to decide this election. And how in advance any serious Kenyan can know who is winning. On a talk show the other day, I gave an example of why it will very easily be Raila Odinga. Let us imagine a situation where this country is homogeneous. We speak one language. We have one culture. All of us are, say, Kikuyus or Kalenjin or Luya. Let's say all Kenyans were Kamba people. They spoke Kikamba language. They had the Kikamba culture. And Raila Odinga then called Mutiso. And William Ruto then called Wambua were competing. Will there be a contest? Will there be a contest between Raila aka Mutiso and William Ruto aka Wambua? If you want to understand how simple this choice is, imagine a Kenya with one tribe and Raila is facing Ruto. Will there be a contest? Would it be very difficult for anybody in Kenya to decide that that person who can lead this country, to remove this country from the challenges it's facing, can be Raila Odinga? Would William Ruto, in that context of one Kenya with one tribe, one language, would he get even 10% of the votes? Now you can understand why this election is very simple and the decision is not going to be difficult to make. And for that reason, Kenyans, I am sure, know what they are going to do to save their country from what is obvious collapse.